know that disasters are inevitable. You guys at the northern coast, you know this. They're personal. Whether it's a car accident, whether it's a house fire, whether it's a huge windstorm, or whether it's a giant earthquake and tsunami. They happen to you and your family. The survival part is the optional part of that. Because if you don't prepare for any type of event, then you're just becoming a victim. And if you and your family aren't preparing for something like a giant earthquake that gets you prepared for any other type of natural disaster, then you're forcing your family to become victims as well. So what do? And here is the perfect example of that statement. They knew this was going to happen in New Orleans. And yet, who would have imagined that in the 21st century a modern American city would be destroyed in a natural disaster? Nobody. And if you think the federal response to our event affecting 13 million people is going to be any better than what you saw happen in New Orleans, then think again. And, once again, how could they have let this happen? They knew the levees were going to fail if they got hit by a hurricane. Let's not be those people. Let's not have people say to us, how could we let this happen? How paranoid should you be?
Very.
If I've done my job, you're feeling a little bit like this guy. But most people who leave my talk, and most people who haven't heard the talk, are going to feel like this. When the earth starts shaking, they're going to yell, "Go!" and grab their head and think, man, I really, really should have put a plan together. Here are some suggestions. Make your family and friends as paranoid as you are. A nice, healthy paranoia. And you're only as prepared as the least prepared family in your neighborhood, because you're going to go help them after the earthquake is over. Or if you didn't prepare, the well-prepared people in your neighborhood are going to come and help you. In an earthquake, 95% of everybody that's helped or rescued in an earthquake is helped or rescued by their neighbors. 95%. Get to know your neighbors. Even the weird ones. Bake some cookies. Take them over. Hi, here's some cookies. Rescue me first. Take a case of beer. Hey guys, I really, really am tired of you partying all night long, but here's a case of beer. Rescue me first. Make the people where you work and live paranoid too. What is the role of your organization, your church? Everybody is going to have a role in this event after the event is over. We're all kind of, on our own while it's going on. But after the event is over, what is the role of your church, your school, Roddey, Kiwanis, whatever group you belong to? Sit down and talk about this. There's got to be something that we can do together that will make a difference for people. And finally, join those obsessed few in your communities. Like Patrick and I. But also, right, how many of you are CERT team members? A few community emergency response teams that you can take training for. How many of you have gone through Map Your Neighborhood programs? Good. How many of you have volunteered with the Red Cross? Good. I've got information on that stuff. These are going to be your friends. But if you're trained, then you can help your friends and family as well. And I've talked about the CERT classes in the Map Your Neighborhood, and we've got stuff over here about Map Your Neighborhood. It's a wonderful program that literally brings neighbors together to start planning as a group. And you have little parties where you put emergency kits together, potluck kind of things. Talk about, hey, who's got the power tools? Who's got the chainsaw? Who's got the wood stove? Who's got the wine cellar? That's the house you want to go to, right? You get the idea. All right, so here are some words that you would never think you would hear in a disaster. But in fact, there's this wonderful book called A Paradise Built in Hell. It talks about just this.
Yes.
This is the book. This is what it says in the intro to the book. What most people believe and what actually happens in the aftermath of a disaster are two different things. The movies, the media, and the authorities have too often insisted that we are a chaotic, selfish species and ought to fear each other. Yet in the wake of almost every major disaster, a wave of altruistic and brave improvisation saves lives, forms communities, and shapes many survivors' experiences.
Yes, sir.
This book changed the way I thought about disasters. Really neat. The other book is called The Unthinkable. Who survives when disasters strike and why? And it teaches you how to improve your disaster personality. And there are 5 main traits. I'll go through real quickly. Attitude, knowledge, anxiety level. If you get anxious, there are ways you can fix that. Body weight. Because if you're overweight, then you have less of a chance. If you needed a reason to start dieting. And training. By far the best way to improve performance is to drill, baby, drill. Practice. Don't just say, hey, I know what to do when I drop cover and hold on. But actually do it. Schools do fire drills. Schools do earthquake drills. How many times do you do them at home?
No.
What is the plan?